Welcome to my channel Flights Assistance: How Virgin Atlantic and struggling airlines are fighting to survive in 2025. A350F delays push Airbus timelines to 2026, impacting cargo plans. Virgin Atlantic, fresh off a profit, faces transatlantic slowdowns, operational chaos, and competition. From Heathrow woes to a diverted A350, explore how these setbacks challenge the airline's recovery in 2025 amidst industry turbulence. A350F development delays. The Airbus A350F, designed to compete with Boeing's 777F, was initially slated for entry into service in 2025. However, supply chain disruptions, certification hurdles, and production setbacks have pushed this timeline to late 2026 or beyond. Airbus has cited shortages of critical components like engines and landing gear, compounded by labor constraints, as primary reasons. This delay affects cargo operators and airlines planning to modernize fleets for efficiency and lower emissions. Impact on cargo market. The A350F's delay frustrates airlines banking on its promised 20% fuel savings and 40-ton payload advantage over older freighters. With global air freight demand rebounding post-pandemic, carriers like Qatar Airways and Singapore Airlines, early A350F customers, face capacity constraints. Struggling passenger airlines with cargo ambitions, including Virgin Atlantic, miss out on a lucrative revenue stream as older, less efficient aircraft remain in service longer. Virgin Atlantic's financial struggles. Virgin Atlantic, majority owned by Sir Richard Branson, returned to profitability in 2024 with a £20 million pre-tax profit, its first since 2016. However, this follows years of losses, including a £139 million deficit in 2023, exacerbated by the pandemic and high debt levels. The airline's recovery is fragile, with analysts noting its reliance on premium leisure and transatlantic corporate travel segments now showing signs of softening demand. Transatlantic demand slowdown. In late March 2025, Virgin Atlantic flagged a slowdown in US to UK travel demand, echoing concerns from part owner Delta Air Lines about US economic uncertainty. CEO Shai Weiss highlighted consumer caution linked to potential US tariffs under President Trump's policies. This warning triggered a 4.7% drop in stock prices for major airlines like IAG, British Airways parent, and Lufthansa, signaling broader industry jitters. Operational disruptions. Virgin Atlantic faced a high-profile operational setback in early April 2025 when Flight VS 358 from London to Mumbai diverted to Diyarbakir, Turkey, due to a medical emergency. A subsequent, hard landing, damaged the Airbus A350-1000, stranding 250-plus passengers for 40 hours at a remote military airport. Passengers criticized poor communication and limited facilities, prompting apologies from the airline and raising questions about its crisis management. Fleet modernization challenges. Virgin Atlantic operates 12 A350-1000s for passenger service, but none are A350Fs. While not a confirmed A350F customer, the airline's cargo revenue, boosted during the pandemic, could benefit from such an aircraft. Delays in the A350F program mean Virgin Atlantic and similar carriers must rely on aging Boeing 747s or less efficient options, increasing costs and emissions at a time when sustainability is a competitive edge. Competitive pressure. Virgin Atlantic faces stiff competition on transatlantic routes from British Airways, American Airlines, and low-cost carriers like Norse Atlantic. The A350F delay indirectly heightens this pressure by limiting cargo diversification, a hedge against passenger market volatility. Meanwhile, rivals with newer freighters or more robust finances can capitalize on freight demand, squeezing Virgin's margins. Heathrow chaos. On March 21, 2025, a fire at a nearby substation shut down Heathrow, Europe's busiest airport, canceling all Virgin Atlantic flights until midday. The airline resumed a near-full schedule the next day but warned of delays. This incident, alongside fog-related disruptions later that month, underscores Virgin's vulnerability to external shocks at its Heathrow hub, where it operates most transatlantic flights. Strategic moves. Amid struggles, Virgin Atlantic opened a new clubhouse lounge at LAX in March 2025, emphasizing pre-flight wellness with features like circadian-aligned lighting and a cinema room. It also resumed Toronto-London flights after a decade, with Branson personally celebrating the launch. These efforts aim to bolster brand appeal and premium revenue, but their success hinges on stabilizing core operations and demand. Industry-wide implications. The A350F delay reflects broader aerospace challenges. Boeing's 737 MAX issues and 777X setbacks have similarly strained airlines. For Virgin Atlantic, already navigating a post-COVID recovery, these delays compound risks. Analysts speculate the airline may need to lean harder on its SkyTeam alliance, joined in 2023, or seek additional capital if transatlantic woes persist. The interplay of production delays and market shifts could reshape its future. In conclusion, the A350F delays spotlight Airbus's production woes, hitting cargo-dependent carriers hardest. For Virgin Atlantic, these delays intersect with a precarious recovery marked by profit gains but persistent vulnerabilities, softening U.S. demand, operational hiccups, and competitive pressures. The Diyarbakir incident exposed service gaps, while Heathrow disruptions tested resilience. Strategic wins like new routes and lounges show ambition, but without fleet upgrades or a cargo boost from aircraft like the A350F, Virgin risks lagging rivals. As of April 8, 2025, the airline's path forward demands agility in a turbulent industry landscape. For the latest, check aviation news outlets or Virgin Atlantic's updates. Hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.